Going on? What's going on? What's going on? People, man. It's your boy Brilliant, man. We rocking out here on another episode of Black Excellence. And this topic for today that we're going to be viewing and talking about is mental health awareness. And the seriousness of it and the actual cause and effect that no one is actually speaking about ever. We're going to be talking about that today. So I want to make sure I thank everybody for being here tonight. You can be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I do appreciate that so much. I want to tell you, if you are here for the first time, please do subscribe. Please do hit the like button. Please do hit the bell so that you can be notified about my live streams as well as notifications on when I post things, and you can stay updated with me. So once again, this is your boy Brilliant Azor. We rocking out, man, right here at Black Excellence. And this episode on Black Excellence is we're gonna be talking about mental health awareness. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna be talking about is the fact of the uneducation that most people have about mental health. Okay, and it actually stems from people not understanding what mental health is. That's the first thing. A lot of people don't acknowledge the fact that mental health is something that's very, very, very serious, and it doesn't have enough acknowledgement to be able to go into people understanding why it affects so many people. And believe it or not, we all suffer from mental health, okay? Regardless to if it's an effect that is a physical, or it's just an effect that's something that's different from someone else's understanding. Regardless to what it is, it's always, and I mean almost always, the same situation. It is something that you don't understand. So most people do what? Fear what they don't understand. So I'm saying that to say this. If we look at the fact of calling what we call, quote unquote, mental health illness, okay? What makes the mental ill? That's what I want to start off with, okay? And that's for anybody that may want to come in and add on any comments. Please do join in. I would love to have people ask questions. What is mental health illness? And for me, mental health illness is something that affects the mental, but does that mean that you're ill? Does that mean that because it's a characteristic that someone else may not understand, does it mean that it's affecting you because they might not understand your characteristic? A lot of times today in society, people don't have the education that they need to understand things that they need to may understand. So because of them not having the education, it becomes a non-fact. It becomes non-relevant. It becomes something that most people share with no education or understanding about, and they point fingers because it's something behind it that they don't know. Okay? So characteristics we're going to talk about. What is a characteristic? A characteristic is pretty much something in someone that shares the same situation, but in a different place, space, mental space, as well as capacity. And I'm going to say that again because most people didn't just get that, okay? When we have a characteristic and that is shared amongst our own mental space, then people tend to judge that characteristic, and they usually point fingers because they don't understand that character. And we all have characters, okay? So I'm gonna start by this, and let's use English terms, all right? For starters, I don't know if anybody ever have went through this before, but literally have been in your own space. You might have been going through something, okay? And for some odd reason, what you were going through, it became a reality. And it might be so, passionate, that you start to talk to yourself or you begin to coach yourself, and then you realize it's just you and you're actually speaking to yourself at that moment, but you might be amongst yourself. And then when you realize it, you're like, wow, I'm literally sitting here and it's like, you can do better. Get yourself together, man. Just coaching yourself pretty much and giving yourself that own, push that you may need. But amongst yourself, that's a different character that's actually educating another character, which is yourself. So for that moment, when you start to speak out, it's only for confidence toward that different characteristic that you have. So you tend to share things amongst yourself, amongst closed doors for most people, I hope, and it usually becomes, it sounds something like this. Man, I gotta get my shit together. I'm kind of messing up. I need to get my stuff together. I know I can do better than this. I know I'm better. I know I'm better. I know I'm gonna do better. And nobody can defeat me. I am better than most, and I'm gonna do better than most, and I'm gonna achieve. And that's you having the characteristic of telling self how you can motivate self. And that's a characteristic, okay? So now let me just transform this. Now you're not inside closed doors and you're outside. And you have the same characteristic, but you tend to walk by somebody, okay? And when you walk by this person or people, you say the same thing that you just said behind closed doors, and let's see how people tend to look at what's going on. Now let's replay that. I know I'm messing up. I'm slipping. I know I'm going to do better. I know I can do better. I'm better than most. I'm bigger than most. I know I can do better. I got this. I know I can do better. I'm bigger than most. I got this. I got this. And you walk by somebody and you hear something come out just like this. Man, if you don't get your crazy ass away from me, you're going to have a problem. And those are things why, because people's not understanding now the characteristic is out and transformed into a reality form, which is reality. And now in reality, people's not understanding your characteristics, so now judgments come behind that. And that's the crazy part. You have people judging you now because they don't understand your characteristic. And that's what that is. So now they're pointing fingers because they don't understand your terminology, nor do they understand your characteristics for why you are and have the conversation that you're having at that time. I mean, do you have to explain that? Do you have to explain the fact that this is what you're feeling at that moment? And because you're in touch and in tune with yourself and you're that relevant to yourself, you having that conversation amongst yourself. And I feel like that's a great thing. You're actually having that conversation amongst yourself. You're in that space. You're having that conversation amongst yourself. And that's the best thing. So now you can realize, people can actually realize, okay, that you're crazy now because they don't understand that characteristic. And that's kind of like being balanced, okay? When you're balanced, once you're balanced, you're normal, right? When you want to be successful, what makes you successful? When you want to be successful, what makes you successful is being unbalanced. And once you're unbalanced, that's when success kicks in. But then people say you're crazy because you're unbalanced. And you're doing things that's different from what people can understand. And that's what makes you and tend to make you somebody different from what everybody else understands. And that's when you start to achieve, being unbalanced. That's when you literally start to achieve, being unbalanced. Because once you're balanced, you're comfortable. And your comfortability lies in something that you may perceive to be a reality once again, but it's not an actual reality. It's just you being comfortable in that reality. Once you get out of your comfortability zone, then you will be able to push, okay? You will be able to push and go further than what people can expect. And sometimes that's what we do in our mental state. We go further than what people can expect. And that's a different character. So that makes us ill because people don't have the understanding of where people can go further here in. And it's not just in the physical. In the mental form, people have went to different destinations and places that the reality can't understand. If somebody asked you right now, if you can go anywhere, where would you go? Me, I would go in my mind, because in my mind, I can be who I want. I can do what I want. Okay? Nobody can tell me when to go, when to come. Nobody can tell me who to be, who I can't be. I can be anybody I want. I can do whatever I want to do. I can stay as long as I want to stay. And that's when you know you have that characteristic to be anybody that you want to be at that moment. Nobody can tell you different. Nobody can tell you you can't be that person. But the understanding of society today, right? It'll make you become somebody different because of the understanding and the education that people don't have. So now that makes that makes you mental. And you have illnesses because of that. Because you want to be that character. You want to go to your mind and become that character. And that's what mental health illness is. Come on now, let's be honest. We all have that same situation that goes on in our head. Everybody have those characters and characteristics, should I say. And we struggle every day with trying to personalize and correct all of the characters that we have. And that's how we live life day to day. By making sure we're correcting those characteristics that we have, which battles each other, those characters, every single day, okay? They battle each other. We all do. We go through it every single day. We battle with different characteristics that we have with each other all the time. And that makes us mental. That's crazy. It's no reason that should make you mental. You should not have mental health illnesses, and I'm going to get into it now. Now this is where we can go deeper. Let's go deeper, okay? Mental health illness is only for people that don't understand people's mental. Now, let's just go back a little bit because people's not going to catch that, okay? What that means is, let's go inside of the minds for a second. Now, I'm going to correct that because people is like, right now, how can we do that? How can we go inside of the minds of people? You can never actually go into the inside of people's minds, but what you can do is become that characteristic like that person became. People is afraid to go outside of who they are, and that's the problem. See, you're following a different pattern that's not your pattern. Your pattern is to be able to have characters and characteristics because that's who you are. You have thousands of them. Thousands of them. People may only act out a few. People may act out more than others act out. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just how people view it and how people utilize it when they realize that they do have those characters. And that's where the mental health illness takes place. Because now people's not understanding what people's bringing to the reality form, which is a character. And people's not understanding that character. And that's where the illness comes in. So you have people that do things every day with no type of remorse, no type of regret, no type of acknowledgement. A lot of these people don't even know and understand that they're in the space that they're in because of being trapped in that space by themselves and feeling like they're in that space by themselves. I've talked to a lot of people. I've interviewed a lot of people. I've interviewed a lot of homeless people. I've interviewed a lot of people that, you know, have been going through things for a long time and has been on the streets for a long time, okay? And that's getting to that. Let's get into that. Homelessness is at 90-something% right now. And the reason given behind the homelessness, come on now, is because of mental health illnesses. People suffering from having characters that other people may not understand. And because those are characters that people may not understand, they suffer from those things. And that's what that is. People suffering from a characteristic that someone else may not understand. So because of that, they judge that characteristic and give people a diagnosis of something that they don't understand. And that's usually what fear is. Fear is something that people don't understand. Usually, that's what it is. So they pass it out as having an education by diagnosing you with having mental health illnesses because of a fear that they don't understand and an education that they don't have. So that characteristic that they're following is actually something that they fear. And the diagnosis is something that they don't understand. So when it comes to you having to be in your character and speaking and having someone understand your characteristics, You may be speaking about something that's all the way on Mars, which is relevant, but somebody else may be speaking about something that's here on Earth. So because you're speaking about what's on Earth and they're speaking about what's on Mars, okay, you both are in a different space. So at this point, your relevance to their understanding and their belief system is different from y'all both. So y'all both are trapped in a position to where you don't understand them and they don't understand you. And that's a characteristic. So you're in your own space, but they're in their own relevance. They're in their own relevance. So because of them being in their own relevance, at that moment, right, it gives them an honorable understanding of who they are. Because once again, I asked you this question. If you can go anywhere, where would you want to go? And like I said, I would go in my mind because I can be anybody that I want to be. I can do what I want to do. No one can tell me when to go. No one can tell me when to come. No one can tell me how long to stay. I'm here and this is mine. I've created this in my mind and I'm comfortable and relevant enough to have this understanding. But if I make it a reality and show reality, what I have here and where and who I want to be here, it becomes an effect on society. And society starts to judge the reality that I have built here for myself. So now I'm walking by you and in reality, I'm acting out and I'm actually bringing to a reality the things that I'm having here into reality form. So now you're judging me and I'm crazy now. I have illnesses. Those are the things that make me, a part of something different. So the moral of the story is it something that's in understanding or is it something that somebody's not understanding? Which one is it? Why am I ill because of something that someone else says and you don't have an understanding behind it? That makes someone ill? That doesn't make them ill. Mental health is all over the United States. Mental health illnesses is all over the United States. And we're suffering from it every single day. In the communities, we're suffering from it. With no one saying anything about wanting to help the situation. With no one saying that they want to do something about the situation. People are suffering from the situation. And it makes sense to talk about it and try to understand people going through that. Okay? These characteristics and characters that people have here in their minds are real. They're real. They're real. They're not a part of who you are in society because in reality, you've already built your own understanding of how reality should be. So you can never be here in that characteristic. So when you want to understand and diagnose people for having mental health illnesses, understand they don't have mental health illnesses. People's mentals may affect their health, and that's the problem. People's mental affects the health. Why? Because of the understanding and them being trapped in that understanding with no one else understanding them. They don't have no one else to understand them. If you know that you're different from someone, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to go around saying that you're different from who they are? No. You're going to act out who you are. You're going to be who you are. People's going to have to understand that's who you are through, right? You having an actual event happen, reality form take place, or something greater than most happen in your life. People then will understand who you are, what you are, and why you've came to be that situation. And that's what it is. When people don't have an understanding and education, that's when they tend to point fingers because they're not educated in that department. So now I'm going to point fingers and I'm going to diagnose you with being ill and having mental health illnesses because I'm not educated in that department once again. And that's what being unbalanced is. Come on. We all know this. Success, I'm going to tell you this, success is unbalanced gravity, y'all. For people that don't know this, and I'm going to say this again, success is unbalanced gravity. Every person that is successful is unbalanced. Every person. No one that's successful is balanced. You want to know why? It's because they had to be someone, right, that someone else understood, whether it was the different character than most, whether it was being somebody that someone else didn't understand, but they had to go here. And where they went there, no one else can go there. Like I said, if I wanted to go anywhere in the world, I would go in my mind. Because nobody can tell me when to go, when to come, when to leave, who to be. I can be anybody I want here. But does that make me mental because I'm in my own mind and I have my own characteristic? I may act out my characteristic. I may walk down the street wanting to talk about the place I'm at right now. And that may be here, but because you don't understand me and I'm here right now, I'm now diagnosed and I'm judged with having an illness because of an understanding that you may not have and an education that you may not know. So you point fingers and you diagnose me with having an illness, us with an illness. But see, when people start to realize that we all have characteristics and characters that we control every single day. We have these characters that's within us all. But we control these characters because some may say people might not understand these characters. I mean, if you went up to somebody and you was having a great day, or you was wanting to inspire yourself, right? And you was feeling good about the day and you started telling yourself, just coaching yourself, man, you're going to do this. You're going to be the man or you're going to be the woman. We're going to do this. We're going to make ourselves right? And you're talking to yourself now and you find yourself at the moment, you looking and you like, oh, I was just kind of talking to myself. But it's more of an inspirational thing and you're not looking at it like that, right? But you're amongst yourself. But what happens when you now walking down the street and you doing the same thing, but it's people standing there and they looking at you while you doing it. And you, man, I'm going to do this, man, I'm going to be. First thing they going to do is look at you and they going to judge you. The first thing, before they can even speak to you, they might even move back or move away from you and start saying, man, this person crazy. But you're not. You're in your mind. You're in who you are. You're in your character. And because they don't understand it, now they're judging that situation because they don't understand what you're doing or who you are. But that's what people are today. They're in their relevance. They're in their relevance and they're unbalanced. So that's what makes people successful. Once again, somebody may record that person doing that. And next thing you know, they popular because they known for being the bug out or they known for being the person that's the crazy person. Come on now. That's a person in their mind. And because you don't understand that characteristic, you're now judging the situation. Have a conversation with somebody you call crazy or ill. See what happens. Speak about something to them that's relevant. They'll mess you up, man. They'll start talking about things that's so relevant, right? That it'll start educating you and you'll be like, man, damn, I thought the whole time this person was kind of thrilled. I thought they didn't know what they were speaking about. But that's not true. They was actually different in their characteristics. They are relevant to their character. So they don't have a problem with going there and staying there for a while. And they're there and comfortable there. You're not, because you're in reality form. So now you're judging where they are. So now you're here on earth and they're in their mind. So y'all on two different levels. And that's what being comfortable is, right? And balanced. I don't want to be balanced anymore. I want to be a little ill. And to all people that's literally suffering from mental illness, right? We all are here for you. We're here together. We're here to help. Everybody, we have characters. We have that. And that's what we all got to know. When we start to acknowledge who we are and what we're suffering from, that's when we will be better. Police is out here killing innocent black men. Okay? Because they don't understand who we are. They're not trained for that. They're not trained for people with mental health illnesses. They're not trained for that. So the minute they may get somebody that they should have training for to be able to understand how to deal with the situation, no, they're not doing that. The first thing that they're doing is grabbing their firearms and they're killing another innocent black person, regardless to what the fact was. I've never, in a while, and I won't say never, okay? But I haven't yet in a while seen any of those victims that was killed by police. I never seen it to where it was like a, equal kind of thing. It's usually the victim being who we are, And that's what hurts. Because a lot of people don't understand, we have these situations happening every day, and these people are not trained enough to be able to know how to deal with this type of stuff that happens every day. They're not trained enough. They're not trained enough. They're not trained to deal with that type of stuff. So what's happening is we're being victimized. We're being ambushed. We're being killed out there in these streets because of something that someone else don't have education to. They don't understand us. Same thing for us, doing the same thing to us, killing each other because we don't have an understanding behind who we are. We don't want to understand who we are. We're so busy trying to be relevant, and the things that matter is relevant. But when we look at the character, who we are, and the characteristics that we're here for, it would make more sense to everybody. It will make more sense. It would have more of an understanding to the things that we stand by, other than the things that don't matter. Every day, I'm not up here because I need views, because everything that I'm speaking about is relevant enough to when people watch this, it will be relevant to them. Because it's an understanding. It's something that is a reality form. I'm not here for clout. That's why I'm live. I don't have anything written down. I don't have any of that. What I have is knowledge and terminology for an understanding and a change and a difference. We need to do better, y'all. We need to do better. We need to promote mental health awareness. We need to make sure that everybody is literally sharing this video, okay? If you're here for the first time, I want to tell you, I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and the bell button. And make sure you hit the bell button so you can be notified, okay, about my live streams, as well as my postings and everything else when it comes out immediately, okay? So I do appreciate y'all for being here. But once again, this situation is affecting America, and nobody's speaking about it. Mental health awareness is affecting America, and we need to be aware of what's going on in America and how it's affecting America. It's starting off with us inside of who we are, and it's ending in society. We need to go into inside of who we are and realize the characters and the characteristics that we all have and why we have these characteristics. What makes us who we are? What makes us do what we do? What mental capacity are we in? What space are we in? Okay? That any given second we turn like an animal and be able to harm another person that looks just like me or you. And that's different. That's different. And that's what hurts. And me, I try to have an understanding behind it because I know it affects so many people every single day. It affects so many people. Not understanding why we do what we do and why the situation that happens so much. Why it happens so much and why it affects so many people in so many different ways. It's a crying shame for what we stand for at this moment, because it's like asking yourself, do you really care? Do you really have a care in the world for what we suffer from? We suffer from thousands and thousands of years, man, of hurt and turmoil and pain. We suffer from this. But the excuse is what? What's the excuse? Marching? What's the excuse? Huh? What's the excuse? What are we going to get different out of everything that's taking place right now? What's the excuse? We need to come together and stop what we're doing to each other first, okay? So we can have an understanding into what everybody else is doing. Homelessness needs to stop. People have lost their families due to homelessness and mental health, okay? And having mental health issues, all right? And being in the streets and not even being aware that they're in the streets. Suffering, and they've been in the streets for a long, long time. I know people that's been in the streets for a long time and not even aware that they're in the streets. And that's sad, Their family's been looking for them for years and years. I've myself ran into people that I have helped in the past, sending them home to their loved ones, okay? Because they were lost out here and from different places, okay? I've done that, yes, all right? I'm not going to put no one's personal information or name out there, but in society, it's your neighbor. It's that person across the street. It's that person that's literally right there that you see every day in front of that corner store. That's someone's brother or sister or son or daughter that's been out there for years. And because they have mental health issues, right? No one pays them no mind. We see them every single day when we go into work. We speak to them. We may even give them some money. These are someone's family members, loved ones. Okay? It's a lot of things out here that we don't pay homage to or we don't acknowledge. And it's a crying shame because it hurts. You know, it literally hurts. It doesn't feel right when you know people should be doing something and they're not doing anything at all to change anything that's happening right now. I don't want to be this person that sit back and not say anything about knowing how we're struggling with this disease that people's calling mental health illness. How are we ill? How is our mental ill? And if that's the case, where did it start? Where did it start? Because they already have an ending to it starting, but where did it start? If they have the ending in the diagnosis of the ending, where did it start? Some of us, a lot of us, it started from childhood. Maybe. And I'm going to assure that was the case. And because we had nobody to acknowledge that this happened to us during childhood, we grew. And now that we're 35, we're still trapped in what happened to us when we were 5. Right here in our mental. Remember when I told you about that? Being trapped right here. They never left the situation that happened. It stayed right there. Pay attention. It never went anywhere. It stayed there for 30-something years, right there. Now they want to talk about it. They want to talk about the problem that they had when they was 5. You might not want to hear it because they're 35 now, and it's like, you know, why is it relevant at this point, right? Because they never talked about it. They never told nobody about it when they was 5. They held it. That mother that left that child abandoned never got that hug yet. So maybe that person being somebody that may have to have the reinsurance or the abandonment issues or feeling like they can't achieve or having fear of someone leaving constantly. Guess where that comes from? Yep. And that's usually what it is. Having that situation from when you're a child, you've never talked about that situation and you were able to keep it right here. You kept it right here in your mental. So now that you're 35, the problem that you had when you was 5, right? Now that you're 35, the problem that you had when you was 5, you never was able to talk about it and you kept it here. So now you act out on it. You act out on it. And the world blames you for that. The world blames you. They don't want to hear that. Man, nobody don't want to hear what you was going through when you was 5. You 35 years old, man. And that's what mental health illness is. So now the white man, what they want to do is what they do. They want to judge you. They want to interview you. They want you to sit down. They want to get in your head. They want to see why you're the way you are. What makes you this way? You know how I do. You know how they do it. So tell me, what makes you do the things that you do? I mean, shit, maybe being a motherfucking slave our whole motherfucking life? Huh? Maybe let's start with that. Let's end with having to understand that our ancestors went through so much for us and paved so much ways for us. And we yet and still to this day, are not acknowledged and get a month to celebrate who we are and our culture? How the fuck dare you? We get 1 month. We're celebrated for 1 month. We get 1 month to celebrate our culture and who we are for 1 month. That'll make my mental ill as well. I would have an ill mental as well. And those problems that I had when I was 5 years old, I'm going to keep them there. That memory of my ancestors having to go through what they went through thousands and thousands of years ago, I'm going to keep them there. And you're going to keep calling my mind ill, my mental ill, because you don't have awareness of who we are and the character that I have within who we are. So now I have illnesses because you're not aware. No one gave you the awareness of what we are as people. So they diagnose us with having mental problems because no one is aware of who we are. My character and my characteristic is important. And once again, that situation of what you went through when you was 5, some people keep it there and it never went anywhere. From 5, it stayed there. Now that they're 35, right? They have the same problem there. And they're acting it out now. Now it's a reality. And they're diagnosed with that reality. They're diagnosed. They're diagnosed with that reality. And that makes it terrible. That makes it terrible because it's not an understanding for the reality for them to be able to share. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Okay? And I know for a fact, even if people today started to want to understand why people go through what they go through, right? It would still be different from most because people would then try to dictate why they're going through what they go through. I mean, they're calling Kanye West crazy. Okay? They're calling Kanye West crazy. How in the possible hell is a billionaire? You tell me. I mean, I want to be crazy too then, because that man is a billionaire. He's so crazy, he made himself a billionaire. I mean, man, come on now, let's be real. How crazy is he? He's the craziest billionaire that I've ever known in my whole life. The craziest. The next time you're outside and you see somebody acting like they're crazy, I want you to ask yourself, what they're going through, right? Is it a reality that you understand or a reality that they understand? Because it might just be them comfortable in their reality and you in their reality, so you're uncomfortable with who they are. Wow. How are you uncomfortable with their reality? You can't be. Everybody suffers from mental health. Everybody. Stress is mental health. Anxiety. Bipolarism. And the list goes on. That's the list goes on. When you stressed out, that's a form right there. Nobody pays attention to the relevance in which things are today. They rather look at the backlash and the relevance that they would get in terms of dictating something that they don't even know about. If I wanted to go in my mind and stay there for a week and literally live there, that's my prerogative, not yours. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to bring awareness to people that do judge and get help for the situation and want help for the situation. People need to be trained and people need to be taught what people with mental health and suffering from mental health go through. They're not taught or trained for that. We've lost so many people due to suicides. Suicides is the number one thing that's affecting America with people that's suffering from mental health. Being alone and being trapped in their minds with no one there to help them. I've lost friends due to suicide. People have lost friends, family, loved ones due to suicide, man. And it is a shame how no one wants to intervene and literally, okay? We had so many people tragically lose their loved ones to suicide every single day. Every single day. Rest in peace to everyone that has lost their family members, friends, loved ones due to homelessness, due to, suicide. May you rest in peace, and my condolences are sent to each and every person that went through this or still going through it right now. Suicide is the number one thing that's affecting America right now, y'all. Suicide. And it is very important to bring awareness to it because it is someone's family member, brother, cousin, sister. Someone is affected by it. Okay? Someone is affected by it. We just had another queen, okay, that just lost her life, all right, due to that, all right? And may she rest in peace, okay? And it's happening every single day because no one is bringing awareness to people's decisions that they're making. No one is there for these people. It is very important to pay attention to anybody that's suffering from mental health. If you know anybody that's suffering from mental health, please get them some help. Do not act like it's not relevant to you. Get them some help. Go out there and find them some help. Don't judge them. Don't try to literally, do something that makes no sense or ruin the situation or even worsen the situation. Try to better the situation. If you know anybody that's suffering from mental health, get them some help. If you're suffering from mental health, please, there's help out there. There's help out there. It will be some information that I'm going to be leaving in the description after this video. And you can definitely acknowledge it, please. Okay? For everybody that is just now tuning in, this episode of Black Excellence is based about mental health awareness. And I'm here because I'm trying to bring some education to us, man, because we're not paying no attention to what is affecting us so much. And it is so important that this needs we need to be educated about this. More. We need way more podcasts. We need way more people that's spreading awareness about this. It is very important. It is very important to pay attention to this. They're characters, y'all, and people's not understanding these characters. They're left decisions and left history that's trapped in people's minds. And no one is there to help these people. We need to help these people, not judge these people. We need to get these people off the streets. We need to get these people some help. If anybody you know, once again, is suffering from mental health, please get them some help. Do not judge them. Do not make fun of them. It is a real situation, and people lose their lives every single day. and are going missing every single day. So let's do something different. Let's try to make a change to do something that's right. Please, I don't have the answers or all the answers at this moment. But what I can do is try to share awareness to everybody else. I'm not clout chasing. Like I said, I'm not here for views. I'm not here for views at all. I'm here to bring awareness to us, y'all, because it's important. And for the people that do download or tune into this video, I thank you for wanting to make a change and make a difference. But please make sure you share this video. Please share this video because it's relevant. And we definitely need to not be worried about stuff that's not relevant, but we need to be listening and educating ourselves so we can get better with the things that we don't know. A lot of people may look at this video and literally skip past it and say, oh, nobody don't want to hear that. But just know that there's someone in your family or your friend that is suffering from mental health illnesses. And you need to make and pay attention to make a change, because if not, it can very well be your fault that you did nothing and you sat back and did nothing because this video wasn't relevant to you. But if it is, then that means that you're doing something better than most. Remember how I said when people see you saying, I'm better than most, I'm going to do better than most, and you talking to yourself and now they're thinking you crazy? Keep that same energy all the time, trapped right there in your mind. Go in your mind and become that person that tells yourself every single day. It doesn't matter if the person next to you is judging you for you having that inspiration or insight toward yourself. Give yourself that motivation that you need. It doesn't matter what nobody else thinks. And let's make a change to do something for the next person other than yourself. And if you're suffering from any kind and you don't know, because a lot of people may not know, there's help for you as well. My name is Brilliant Azor. And it has been very, 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 very nice educating y'all with some more of this Black excellence and some more of this food and knowledge. I didn't say enough, and I damn sure ain't do enough. But what I did do is bring some enlightening to everybody, because this situation is really important, and we need to make sure that we're doing more to bring awareness to this so we can put a stop to everything that's happening right now, right in front of our faces. And they're blaming us for the situation and saying that we have mental health illnesses. Let's put a stop to this and educate us, man. It's your boy Brilliant Azor. You rocking out on another episode of Black Excellence. Until the next time, the next episode is going to be about mystery, relevance, and stature. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things that should be relevant right now. I'm not here to clout chase once again. This is all live. This is all education that's coming from right here. Once again, it's your boy Brilliant. I thank y'all for all those that's just tuning in. Thank you for being here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I do appreciate it. Please like, share, follow. Hit the the bell button to make sure you're notified when I go live or when I post something new on my channel. I appreciate you so much. It's your boy Brilliant Azor once again. I will be back at you, and I'm going to continue to be back at you with more and more episodes and more education. Until the next time, y'all, it's your boy Brilliant. Peace.